in the end of all of this.
Yay.
In the end, it doesn't even matter. We also don't have... Oh, yeah, she is actually already connected. We'll get... Oh, now I hear myself. Why do I hear myself? Where do I hear myself?
Is it because we're live?
That was muted. I found it. All right, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, that's fixed. Hey, welcome everybody. I should probably transition the thing. Well, on this show, people are going to take that to mean other things. Transition the scene. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is Calling It Now, where you can call us now and debate us. I don't know why the little banner pills are separated.
And we're calling attention to it now so that you don't have to.
I don't like it. I made some changes to the tool to make it look, does it get better or worse? Okay, that's also driving me crazy. Okay, where is the place that I can change? It's driving me nuts. Let me try this. Y'all, we're going to do some troubleshooting while we see if anybody has the audacity to call. 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. I am not wearing a Snuggie. I'm wearing a blanket cloak, and this time I'm actually wearing my girlfriend's blanket cloak.
Gay?
This one is hers. It is gay. Mm-hmm. That's true. Okay, what if I do this, and then I do... shit, I don't know. Let's just find out what happens.
Oh, boy.
All right, I feel like this is better.
Mm-hmm. That's a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, and then what would happen if I make it, like, way more? And the gays are better than the straights.
I'm really glad you fixed it, because several people in the chat said that they were about to leave over that banner pill.
That's pretty... I mean, at least it is size adjusting, though we did lose some words there.
And the phone number. 336-543-2101. We're taking your debate calls. MAGA.
We're ready.
Like on the stream if you haven't already so that we get into the algorithm and we get more calls.
336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Let's see. I'm going to do a little thingy thing. I'm going to hit the copy on this link, and I'm going to go to Threads, and I'm just going to write MAGA. Just admit it. Queer people are good for America.
Queer people are good for America.
They're great for America.
Mm-hmm.
Great for America.
They're
if you don't agree, you can call me now and debate me, myself, and Luxander. +1 336-543-2101. You know what the thing is going to be that'll make sure we never have a shortage of calls, but I still don't know whether or not I'm willing to do it. If we simul-streamed on the app formerly known as Twitter.
That's true, yeah. But that would be like a nightmare.
Wow, wow. What? I don't think this has to do because we're directly connected to Zoom. You just blurfed out and then zoomed and then froze. Hello?
Hello?
There you are. You're back.
Okay, apparently my internet connection is unstable according to Zoom.
Oh.
Yay.
It is weird that so when you duck down, when you were doing the duck down, I actually see you first in the shadow PC, which is in Washington, then my own Zoom, even though Zoom would be the direct connection. Somehow PMix has it faster. Also, There we go.
I keep toggling it. You might have to refresh me on vMix side.
I don't know if it's that though. I think it could be you. Because so usually when it's vMix, you'll freeze in just the vMix preview,
but it's actually doing it in Zoom.
And these times you've been freezing both times. Anyway, 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. MAGA, we don't sweat you. Low difficulty, easy. Your president sucks. He's, oh man, taking L after L after L right now.
He's also dying. Like
it
actively.
would seem like he's dying. Now congressmen are actually saying on the floor, like, is he dying? We see
and Mitch McConnell might be dead. I kind of think Mitch McConnell's dead, TBH.
You think he already died?
I mean, a little bit. Or he's about to, like, imminently.
Why would they hide it?
Because isn't it a Democrat who is going to appoint his replacement in the Senate?
Oh. And is that Democrat up for midterms?
I don't actually remember who it was, so I don't know. I just watched a video about it earlier today.
Wait, I can't imagine that it would be the governor, right? The governor of Kentucky's a Democrat right now?
I don't actually remember. Again, I watched a video about it earlier this morning, and I slept for like 5 hours last night. Turns out when you're a college student, you're very stressed and you don't sleep very well. I'm
just going to write, is he alive? And see if I can find any...
yeah, we'll see.
He alive? Okay.
But even Congress people are talking about Trump? Wow.
He was in the hospital still working closely with staff.
But then there was something from today or yesterday that was like he's not going to be voting in the Senate in the upcoming week. Or maybe that was about this week. That he was like not going to be doing any votes.
The man's 84 and has had many falls and all of those brain pauses. And let's be so clear. Andy Bashir is the governor of...
Apparently, the Kentucky...
I didn't know I thought Andy Bashir was up in like Michigan or some shit. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, I just want to say, as Mitch McConnell is here facing health issues and apparently a flu that has hospitalized him, that my heart absolutely goes out to flus. Mm-hmm. Flus everywhere. I've had them. Yeah. You can do it, flu. You can do it, flu. I don't know why I didn't realize Bashir was in Kentucky. I'm also amazed that Kentucky decided to take a Democrat for governor.
But here's the thing.
Things have got to be bad down there right now.
This is the problem with like our political situation is like, okay, the governorship is, I think, more of a popular vote thing, but like all of the individual like counties seeming like the whole state is red is because of fucking gerrymandering. Like Kansas has a Democratic governor and has for like a couple of terms now. And also we had one when I was a kid, Kathleen Sebelius, before Brownback came in. So like there's plenty of red states that have or have had Democratic governors recently because, you know, it's like less of a district thing. Like they can't rewrite it in a way that makes it impossible for a Democrat to get the governorship. So yay, we have free democracy in this country. LOL, TLDR, not really.
I'll be honest, I just haven't looked that much into Kentucky. Apparently, it's often that way. They actually usually do. They run red, and you have people like... I mean, it is weird to have Mitch McConnell winning with the Democrat as governor, because Mitch McConnell, gerrymandering can't help a Senate candidate. Yes, gerrymandering can technically help whichever party's in power because it discourages people from even bothering to vote. When you take it away in some races, they just extend it to the rest. So if you're in a state where you're like, oh, my vote's not going to matter, it's gerrymandered to hell anyway, even though you could impact Senate, even though you could impact presidency, that broad attitude ends up not bearing fruit.
Yeah.
Anyway, phone number is 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Yep, big DSA night in New York. We got progressive leftists actually making gains in parts of this country. That's very exciting. It'd be nice. What we need to do is have a shit ton of that. So that the Democrats can then have people who are actually like at least Bernie level and pretend that that's a moderate. Or they'll be like, guys, you're not voting for that communist Jimmy Snow. You're voting for Bernie, the moderate. You like Bernie. and then we get a much bigger, like a bigger jump in progressivism. Anyway, Lizzie Kaplan and Rob Mack are going to be starring in a Far Cry series, and that sounds awesome.
Interesting. I don't know anything about Far Cry, but we're in a weird era of like actually half decent film adaptations of video games, which is weird compared to like the rest of our entire lives.
And Far Cry kind of was already like, they were like, hey, we had amazing stories. And then each game they get worse and worse, even though the actors that we're paying to let us 3D model them are getting better and better. And so, yeah, they were like, all right, clearly we've stopped being good at telling stories. So let's go hire some story people and just put it on TV. So if anything, this could be the redemption of, unless they're just going to do past stories, which would still be fine. But I like both of those people, Rob Mack, formerly Rob McElhenney, and Lizzie Kaplan. She's cute.
Yeah. Listen, everybody, there's 600 people watching right now, and there's only 175 likes on the video. Please click the like button. If you're on the mobile, just double tap your screen, type something in chat, click share, and then copy the link, and then ideally paste it somewhere. But if you don't, it doesn't really matter as far as YouTube is concerned. Help us get out to the algorithm. We don't have very many calls waiting. We want some debates. We want to get into the meat and potatoes of the issues. Let's talk about socialism and how that's the future of our nation right now. Socialists are taking over the Democratic Party, and that's a good thing from my opinion. Tell me why it's bad.
Yeah, from your opinion and the facts. Steven in Arizona. Steven in Arizona, you're on the line with Jimmy and Luxander. How are you, Steven?
I'm doing pretty damn good. How are you guys doing?
Peachy, what are you calling in with?
Actually, I'm in a weird situation because I work for a tech company. I'm a software engineer, and my company just got, I'm not going to say which company, but they just got contracted to do one of the biggest AI warehouses in Arizona. And my boss actually came in and tried to dispel all of the things about AI, about like the water waste and the job loss and stuff like that. And apparently there's a new technology of completely recycling the water, 100%. And that this place is going to make like thousands of jobs.
I'm not remote. While the climate matters, that isn't even my number, like 1, 2, 3 through 8 concerns. Because the sheer amount of electricity these things are going to have to use means we're going to have a big resurgence of nuclear power. So cleaner power is already on the way, and rich people will benefit from cheap power. Will you or I? No, but they will. And so cleaner power was already going to be coming. Water recycling, fine. Yeah, I think they will find. But then you have people like Jeff Bezos lamenting that we might prioritize drinking the water instead of using it for something that eventually could fix us all. Basically, his argument is AI, if we prioritize humans having the water over AI could be used to, in the longer term, solve that whole issue. And so, just break a couple eggs.
Yeah, just make a problem and then fix it, but not really.
That's exactly what my boss was actually going through, was that sort of argument as well. So, so I might be having a new job soon. So, but we'll see. That's all I pretty much had. Love you guys. I'm actually Armed Fro in the chat. Big fan. That's all. Just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, you got to take care of yourself and all that sort of stuff. I don't think we're yet at the point where like it's the equivalent of you're an ICE agent, but you're just doing your job because you have to have a job. There are some jobs that it's not acceptable, but you got to take care of yourself. If you have other options, go take them though.
I wish, but unfortunately it's slim pickings out here.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later. Somebody's in chat is saying that I might have got duped. I got duped. that was a let's see. Let's see. Water should be used to fuel AI rather than for human consumption. No, that's not the one I was talking about. Wait. That the intelligence that will save us over the biology that slows us down. But apparently that was from a satire site. Several outlets. Okay, so I got it because it wasn't just from a satire site. It was repeated in a lot of articles. And those articles have since had to issue corrections and editor's notes.
Damn.
Which,
wow.
This is my problem when people do something, say something wrong. I'm capable of being guilty of this. I've never said anything wrong, but I like whenever people like do something wrong and they say something wrong and shitty, and then they're just like, oh, did I hit the wrong button there? Let me double check this. They say something wrong and shitty, and then they're like, they go and post the correction on whatever their they said it on their largest social media platform. Like they say it on a YouTube video where they have like millions of followers or at least hundreds of thousands. You know who did this? Blair White. Blair White, every time she would issue corrections, she'd go after she was going after this one bodybuilder about how wrong it was for this bodybuilder who was a woman, a trans woman, to be competing when that's so unfair. But then made a whole video attacking this person.
Oh, did it turn out that she wasn't even trans?
Or no, she was trans, but she wasn't competing against women. She was still competing against men.
Oh, fucking idiot. Oh my God.
And so then she gets called out for having said such dum-dums and issues the correction in like a tweet or something. Doesn't make a video, doesn't put it on the same platform, doesn't make the correction in some way that draws the attention of people to it, like puts it in the least place.
Did she at least take the video down?
No, definitely not.
Okay, cool.
And then it's also like you also see from there that everybody knows this strategy. When you have to eat crow, you eat the crow, and then you post 100 times about other shit after it.
Yeah, you bury it. You start to get real invested in some other thing.
I posted. I did post it. I did post it. Whereas my instincts are always the opposite, where I'm like, I might have done something wrong here. And then I'm like, actually, you know what? Doubling down, I think you're all wrong. That's my instincts. I at first have a moment of clarity, and then I
you do the opposite of what you're supposed to, or like the doubling down and then the reconciliation. You're like, no.
I've taken back apologies. For the record, I have taken them back. I've made YouTuber apologies, and I've taken them back, and I stand by taking them back.
Yeah.
You learn
but
more.
That's like one of the good things about our moral perspective is that we are open to being changed, like to having our minds changed, and that might mean taking a correction live or thinking on it and coming back later and being like, actually, I researched this more, and while my original take was less nuanced than I would like, I still mostly am on that side of things. But our willingness to update our worldview is something that I place a high value on.
You can also recognize too, where it's like, when I do something wrong, I'll tell you, and I'll admit it but then when it's, hey, I apologize for something that was essentially a campaign built to make me defensive and see what mistakes a person will make when they're defensive. You will always make mistakes when you take actions out of defensive-ness. And so those are the ones where I'm like, hey, so I know I said sorry about that, but actually I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I for a moment I thought I was, and then I thought about it. I'm not. And I not only will I do it again, I'm seeking out an opportunity to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Billy in chat? Because he's been in my chat recently, and it's like, is he just a chat Mulder who will never call in?
Well, he called in for like 6 minutes the other day to just get unbanned in chat, but he called right at the end of the show. So I think his tactic now is, I'm going to spam chat with bullshit, and then I'll call at the end of a show if they ban me, when there's only going to be a couple of minutes left anyway.
Yeah, like this person is repeatedly talking at me in the chat, telling me that I'm wrong about things, or like they got corrected about my gender, and now they're like, what the fuck is that? Like, call in. Holy fucking shit, Billy. You're so annoying.
Yeah, Billy takes an unlimited number of L's in chat, but in Billy's mind, he's the referee and the scorekeeper. So it's literally like, to everybody else who's ever absorbed, this is Billy the Kid, for the record. Billy Sipes, when he's in chat,
Billy Sipes is a
legend.
dope motherfucker, and we love him.
We love Billy, and he has bought our love initially, but having now gotten to know him a little bit more, he actually is a cool dude behind the fact that we are prostitutes of a type, for a living, and he did buy our love initially. Anyway,
you can buy
Billy
my
the Kid,
attention to a degree.
that's I don't. It's got to be a kink thing, right?
The humiliation kink or something. Yeah.
Something like that.
What a fucking loser.
336-543-2101. We don't sweat you. Call in. Let's debate. Let's argue. Let's talk about it. I kind of got to pee.
Tell me about how bad it is that democratic socialists are winning across the country. Tell me how awful it is. Tell me how great capitalism is.
It's so weird to have so many years of uninterrupted everybody knowing like everything's going to shit. So let's just keep trying the same thing. What? It didn't work again?
It turns out you need to court your base. Actually.
Never preventing an issue and only doing the minimum treatments of issues, and only in as much as those issues actually like touch rich people. Oh, I'm sure this next person is going to be brilliant. You see the auto screen? Hilarious.
Sure. Yeah. It's going to be solid.
Just like, anyway.
My poops.
I had a monster today. I was worried it was going to be I was going to need one of those knives people talked about on Reddit, but we made it through.
you would have needed one in a European toilet, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. You know what I think is whack? They don't make it easily available to get commercial grade toilets at the home. Do you know what I mean? You ever notice you go to a commercial place, they don't have a tank and they have like a water jet?
Oh, yeah. It just like whooshes down. Yeah. You're right. Like anytime you go.
It blows through whatever's in there.
Yeah.
And the main reason is it's a counter vandalism thing where it's like, we know there are going to be some idiots who try to put the whole roll of toilet paper in there. Well, guess what?
Or they poop in the back tank and everything. Like, yeah, I can understand. Yeah. You should be able to get a commercial tank at your house.
Too much toilet paper is happening more than back tank poopers, but
have you ever worked at a gas station and had to clean the men's bathroom? Because they do some fucked up shit.
Yeah. You had tanks at your gas station?
No, but like everything else under the sun that you could imagine happening in a bathroom, you know. But so I'm just saying I could see how that would make the problem exponentially worse, having the tanks in there.
I like wearing my cloak, but the number of times people mistake it. It's a blanket cloak. It's so nice. The number of times
really
people mistake it
about
for
it being
a
snuggie.
Snuggie's a joke. It's not a joke, blanket cloaks. It's not like the Snuggie. You don't do bar crawls in it. It's its own thing.
It's like a kilt is not a skirt. You're really getting up in arms about it.
And it's not a joke. This shirt's got a knob on it. I'm referencing something else. My shirt, it was getting cleaned up on my stomach all the time, and I was wrecking my shirt, pulling it out, but this one has a knob on it, so I can just easily pull it. You gotta watch I Think You Should Leave. I think you'd like it.
I don't know anything about it.
Baby. I referenced it the other day, and this happened then
too.
Oh,
this is the banana costume thing. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Who did this?
Yeah, who did yeah, okay. I'm what am I in the middle? Oh, House of the Dragon. And also I just became a full-time student this week, so I have zero fucking free time. I'm also in the middle of listening to 2 different audiobooks, so I'm like, I really gotta take some time after this term and catch up on some shows.
Yeah. All right, well, while we wait to see if any MAGA actually have the audacity to call in at 336-543-2101, let's see what else is in the news. I don't care about sports, even if that includes somebody apparently tried to go at Caitlin Clark's throat. I don't care.
Oh, basketball player, okay.
There was apparently like a fake post that was going around that claimed Donald Trump died from rabies earlier this month. I gotta tell you, rabies fucks. Like when I think about rabies, and I don't know if you guys have ever watched videos of people in their final hours with rabies, that shit'll fuck you up.
It's real not good. Yeah.
Rabies is fucked up. And yet, when I think of Trump, if he was going through the final hours, like just trying to look at a water and he's just
Yeah.
hydrophobia.
Hydrophobia. I was like aquaphobia, and I was like, that's not right.
In your final hours of life, when it's too late and they can't do anything to save you, you become hydrophobic. You become terrified of water.
Yep.
Like cups of water. Like people try to drink it and they're just like shaking with, and like I don't want that to happen to almost anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
anybody.
Almost. Maybe one guy though. Maybe just
Does anybody
one.
want to tell me about how perfect your fucking reflecting pool is? Tell me how perfect it is and how it's justified. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Jimmy. We have not talked about the sentences. The crazy long sentences that were given to people who were passing out zines at a protest, or these people, I think that just based on like social media absorbency, like I think some people were just charged with basically like terrorism and got like 30-year sentences for peacefully protesting or just handing out zines.
That's crazy. How they got 30 years for handing out.
Let me make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Send me that on Discord because I'm going to want to take a look at that. We'll take a call in the meantime. Oh, we're going to make some queers mad. Noah in Indiana. Noah in Indiana, you are on the line with Jimmy and Luxander. Noah, how are you?
Well, that was insanely fast, actually. I just called in. I'm doing pretty good, all things considered, living on this Kafka-esque nightmare plane that we're all on.
Yeah.
But
cool. What'd you call in with?
yeah, I was calling in specifically. I was kind of waiting for a slow day, hopefully for something I wanted.
Hey, you don't
got to
talk shit. Just give your topic.
About. Yeah. Okay. So, something you said a while back. It was when you were hosting alone before you had a medical thingy. Just to give you a timeline, I don't know if you remember that, but towards the end of the stream, you said something about tarot that it struck me because it's the way I think about religion. Spreading it is encouraging it. I'm not very good with my words here, but I guess the short and sweet of it is I tend to think that tarot is actually a useful tool, sort of a game of psychology that people can benefit from. And the way you positioned it, I started to feel maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. And I wonder if I can if I can come to see it from your perspective and agree with you, or if maybe you can hear my explanation and agree with me.
Well, you're not going to find it as a tool in psychology books because it's kind of like saying like, yeah, and prayer is a useful tool, you know, like meditation is. There are all of these things that are wrapped up in religious wrapping. And so regardless of if you're the one using it secularly, at the end of the day, it is a $1.5 billion annual industry that is not isolating itself to only being like, oh, secular, like it's just it's a way of thinking about things. It's absolutely a religious and spiritual thing. As you support that industry, you support the religious side of it too. And so you're participating in a greater thing because you're saying like, but it's a good way to do, then go draw your own. Don't participate in the industry and don't participate in any way that affirms other people's beliefs about tarot, because it's like more it's like Catholics. Catholics love the however many, more than 50% of people who call themselves Catholics but only show up twice a year, because they can claim to be like, yeah, and look how huge my religion is. That's part of like why you know it's true. And so when people are assessing tarot about whether or not it should be dismissed as bunk, which it absolutely fucking is, or not, and they're looking at, and because humans by default think fallaciously, they're looking at how much it is adopted. They're not sitting and looking at the numbers of how many people are into it or talk about doing it or own decks and just go like, yeah, but like, let me think about which percentage of them aren't actually believing, which you haven't even said, whether you believe there's some spiritual thing running behind it, but aren't actually doing it that way. It's just like, oh shit, maybe tarot has some legitimacy to it. Maybe I should explore. Not only that, doing it the quote unquote secular way has turned many, and unfortunately it is disproportionately hitting my community, the queer community, and also seems to disproportionately hit women's communities, where it starts out that way and then develops into an actual spiritual identity.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm torn on it, because it's a 600-year-old tradition that got monopolized under the spiritualist movement at the turn of the 19th century. And then
is it your assertion that tarot wasn't originally a spiritual practice?
No, it wasn't. If you take the 52 cards out of the tarot deck, it's every other playing card deck. Swords are spades, diamonds are cups, or diamonds are coins, cups are hearts, and clubs are spades. And that's a 52 card deck. If you use the minor arcana, it originated with nobility. They had these tiny little portraits because they couldn't afford big portraits, but it was still a status symbol. And eventually it developed into a game, and then we had mass printing, and then the game became followed from the nobility to the public, and it proliferated throughout as basically all card games we know to this day. And I don't know that it's...
So when you're participating in it and you're doing the tool as you're describing it as, when you're doing it, are you doing it the way that was happening the hundreds of years ago, where you're saying before it was a spiritual practice? Or would a person who didn't know you, just watching you do it, recognize you playing an ancient Italian game? Or would they recognize a person doing the same thing that their psychic does? Do you do tarot more like Lux, you disgust me. Even the cosplay of spirituality.
Lux, what are you
having fun? Oh, I'm drawing my tarot card. I just drew 3 cards.
Lux knows me, so
yeah, I'm just having fun. Like, I think, honestly, if you think of tarot as like, it's fun, and as far as a psychological tool, so I think that tarot is a psychological tool in the same way that flipping a coin is a psychological tool. Because
which one does your psychic do?
Yeah, good question.
Tarot.
So, I do not support the industry. I'm going to say that. Like, again, I think it's just fun and kooky. I say as I'm wearing 2 pentacles, like, I just think it's fun aesthetically. And I think it's like the moment you flip a coin, the moment that it's in the air and then it lands and you have a feeling of like, what is it? And you have a moment of like, I'm either disappointed or happy with that result. Flipping the coin is not about the coin telling you like what you should do. It's telling you what you actually wanted the outcome to be. And so I view tarot in the same way. Right, but like, I agree that as an industry, it's not good.
Yeah, like you said, the coin flip is not about seeing what the coin says, but seeing about what your gut tells you.
And there's a reason why psychics use the tarot cards and not coin flips.
Yeah, well,
the point I was making before.
Yeah.
Like,
because the cards enable you to cold read. I get it.
and not just
I do
enable
agree.
you
I mean, you
to
can do
have
hot
a
readings,
tradition
cold
of
readings. I know how to
like
do both.
it is at the end of the day, the industry that you see tarot cross over with, where you're seeing the profiles of the people who are buying these cards are also the people buying essential oils for their spiritual medicine properties, are also the people who are heavily invested into astrology, are also the people who are heavily invested into what's that stupid one with water, the alternative medicine
Reiki?
where you're no. Reiki's
No.
stupid too. But yeah, it'll be
Reiki
it'll
is with
overlap with
stones,
Reiki as well.
right?
The water
No,
one
Reiki's
where
with the energy.
water it has the memory of
Homeopathy.
Homeopathy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should be able to remember that during Pride Month. It sounds so gay.
I know.
No, it is. You're participating in a it's like you're a piece of shit if you buy, even if you like lemon oil, if you buy it from Essential Livings or doTERRA, you're still a piece of shit. Get your own lemon oil and don't support the fucking religiously exploitative industries and religions. Go draw your own cards or whatever. I don't know. The whole thing. The whole
you
thing
mean
of
create
like,
your own card? Like you're saying that purchasing this has enabled
Yeah.
the industry financially. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but I enable the Wall family to fucking screw over everybody because I buy all my groceries at Walmart. So it's
yeah,
like
you have to eat.
that's true.
This
But we
is-
also
this would be
bread
like-
and roses.
this is
We
like
need
the-
roses, Jimmy.
This would be like you saying it's the same as just no ethical consumption under capitalism. Therefore, it's okay for you to give tithing to the Mormon church. No, it's not.
I think that those are
apps.
not
there-
comparable, but
Those are absolutely. What do you mean they're not comparable?
I mean, in
tarot
scale.
tarot.
I guess I don't know what the. Oh my god, it's so hot.
Do you
in here. I
know
have to
what?
turn
You
on
know
my
who
AC.
loves people who are into tarot? Mormons. They find out you're
'Cause you
into
can-
tarot, they're definitely going to send the
Mormons,
missionaries
really?
because they know which type of gullible you are and what you are primed to accept.
See, I always thought of it more as like a Rorschach test, but I don't know. That's why I'm asking. It seems useful to me, but I wonder if I put it directly, Jimmy, would you say like I am being harmful if I do tarot readings for my friends who ask for them on
Yes.
New Year's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you need to do the tarot readings for them? Why do they accept you as some kind of authority if it isn't trying to entertain this idea that the cards might work differently through you, that your experience with the cards, if it's supposed to be a psychological self-auditing system.
You have to memorize 78 cards and the
you don't
upside
have to memorize
down.
anything.
I'm saying you're asking what is the level of expertise, and it's like, well, I don't know what any of the cards are supposed to mean in the like game of tarot. Like you have to do it enough to know how to do it. So
Sure.
that's why you have someone do it instead of someone who doesn't know them and just make something up.
And I can memorize
it's all made up,
Bible
so-
verses for you, the whole thing. But the problem with it's all made up is not everybody who adapts or who adopts tarot agrees it's made up.
Yeah. So it's like I agree that we need to be really cautious around it. Like if you're going to engage, it would need to be like strictly this is basically a form of play. We're engaging in play, we're engaging in pretend. And I do agree that a lot of people take a lot of things way too seriously.
And there are certain
I
things
am
that
very
doesn't work
upfront
with,
with
and
that.
religion is kind of that way. The pretend Catholics are still supporting the greater structures that are abusing everybody else.
I just don't approach it that way
See,
exactly.
this is
though.
my issue.
I-
Look at live chat right now. Look at how
And that's
dishonest
where
live
I'm
chat
stuck.
is right now because they want to defend something they like that is rooted in something that is faith-based, that is spiritual, that is exploitative, that psychics use to manipulate people, that spiritualist people use to, and yet they'll go, Jimmy allergic to having fun. Jimmy
I
allergic to
never
people
read
having
that
fun with
while
some
I'm on the
cards. Is
line.
that an actual honest retelling of what my
Like
position
suicide.
is? Or is what I'm allergic to systems that are primed to exploit people? And yet you have live chat. Like, I feel like it's making my point for me. The fact that that people in chat have to defend it so dishonestly because they like it and they want to keep it and change what my position is. If you have to change your opponent's position, you're probably the asshole.
Well, you see where I'm in a bit of a paradoxical situation because I do see a value in it, and I also see the problem. And I'm trying to reach an agreement.
I see the value in it. I see the value in all religions, and the problem is greater than their value. That religions only succeed because they offer tremendous value. It's not I see the value, therefore the negatives situation. When it comes to religion, there is no harmless religion. There is no harmless faith. And if you want tarot and it's some sort of like, you want to be a tarot educator about the true history of it, all that kind of shit, I'm partial to Mormon. I probably would be a collector of Mormon artifacts if that was a thing I could waste money on.
Okay, so here's a question. Isn't yoga like a spiritual practice, but it has been firmly secularized in a way that it's like, is it harmful for us to engage with yoga because it's a spiritual practice in
by
some
default? If a person is engaging in yoga, by default, are they participating in a way that props up a further industry that targets people for gullibility?
Well, that's the question.
The answer is going to be probably often. There definitely are yoga traditions that should be rejected.
That's a very good point, by the way.
But there is a secular way to do yoga, and I'm just suggesting that there is a secular way to do tarot.
Stretch. There are definitely secular ways to stretch. There are definitely negative ways to do yoga. The understanding in the industry that is the $1.6 billion industry is supporting a more broad spiritual, whereas if anything, you can't get most people who believe. Nobody who does yoga has to say, and by the way, I don't believe it's true. I just do it for fun. Meanwhile, astrology and yoga, or astrology and tarot, those are the number one responses you get from those people. And then you get behind the scenes and you get them around somebody else who is a true believer, you find out how often those people are lying, because it is often.
Yeah, that's the thing about enjoying this aesthetic, is that the other people who enjoy this aesthetic are fucking creepy to me. So like I'm hitting at a particularly weird angle.
Am I the only one who thinks that my headrest looks like a sideways menstruation pad?
It does a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I keep seeing that.
Not until you mentioned it. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that way. It's like, just because D&D is associated with Satanism, does that mean I'm a Satanist for having D&D
I find
games?
Satanism pretty stupid, for the record. So look at who you're talking to. I don't ascribe to the whole let's have the matching aesthetic. I like the things they do to point out hypocrisy, but the people who take it on as too much of a core identity, certainly the people who actually believe there is an actual Satan they're serving, or the people who take it too far and start doing things that are objectively terrible. There's no such thing as but who do terrible things in the name of, well, I have the cynicism of my particular Satanistic branch or whatever. I don't even cosplay Satanism. There are degrees of damage that different things do. The Satanism is down at the lowest. Tarot is probably not that high up. Obviously, progressive Christianity has less than regular Christianity, but more than both of those things. But it doesn't mean that. I don't know. I think it's whack when people are like, it essentially is a comparison game, because that's what even the examples here today have had to turn to. Like, it's like, but it's not like it's as bad as Catholicism. It's not like it's as bad as getting stabbed. It's just as bad, it's something, a minor pain, just a little poison. It's not as bad as arsenic. It's just a little bit of just a slight overdose on Benadryl.
I mean, we drink alcohol. We do poison ourselves recreationally.
You do.
Yeah, well, I'm less and less now that I have a watch that tells me how terrible it is for me.
Yeah, there's literally zero amount of alcohol that is good for you.
I'm aware, but yes, but human beings engage in risky behaviors at times is all I'm saying. Is like you just proposed like, oh, it's as though we're poisoning ourselves a little bit and saying it's okay. Yes, we do. And we're not the only species that does it.
I'll tell you what, Lex, you get rid of all the other religion and spirituality, you can have the tarot back after.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. Back on my anti-theist vendetta.
After.
Let's go.
After. You can have it
I'll just keep doing what I'm doing then.
I
Okay.
feel like I've just made you two fight with each other.
We have differences of opinions all the time. It's like literally before the show started, we were working out a difference of opinion about a trans topic. So yeah, it's no worries.
No,
this
I don't
is
even
just our
agree. It's a
friendship.
trans topic. That's how
true.
much we agree.
That's
No,
exactly.
I mean that's specifically
I
what
just didn't
I was
want to
talking
open
about,
that
is
can
I
of worms.
usually agree with
I'll
I'm
say
Jimmy,
it.
saying what it is.
and I'm
I'll
just
say it. I don't believe in
confused on
legitimizing
this
other kin
particular
to the same
subject.
level as queer identities.
And I agree with you.
Right.
Is what we found out.
That's
other
true.
kin.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a call on Takis about it earlier, so we were discussing in
That
the
was
aftermath of that call.
insufferable.
There's a D&D book for that.
Yeah.
Unsurprising.
Anyway, MAGA, you should call in and debate. 336-543-2101. No,
Yeah,
I don't
MAGA,
think
you
this call
should
has any
call
more
our-
usefulness left in it, but thanks
Yeah.
for it.
No, but I did appreciate you talking about it and expressing your sentiments. I'll give it some more thought because of our conversation. And
I think anybody, by the way, even
you know,
comparing it to
I
the
never
heads
want
or
to be
tails,
dishonest.
anybody who actually lives their life by coin flips, I would also find to be an idiot. And if anything, it sounds like tarot is suggesting
I don't think you heard what I said.
do it more.
I don't think you heard what I said because I
remember.
think the coin flip, what it is doing is revealing to you at that moment where you look at it what you actually wanted the result to be. It's not that it's telling you what to do.
That's so not true, though. That's not
But
all
it
it is. Yes, you have that reaction, but people do actually go, okay, heads, I'm going to do this, and tails, I'm going to do this.
Well, that's true.
And I think that anytime that you are telling people it's acceptable to rely on something like that as a decision maker, and the more it seems to work out sometimes, the more, just like confirmation bias, the more people will rely on it. It is the exact same slippery slope that prayer is on.
Fair enough.
Don't do tarot. It's dumb. All right, bye, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.
I have no need for it. It's not useful. You won't make better decisions relying on tarot than becoming like good at evaluating a situation.
Yeah.
That's where your energy should go. 336-543-2101. Pride is good for America. Queers are the best thing about us. If you disagree, 336-543-2101. If you think that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, I think you're an idiot. Call in with your best. I just saw that fucking moron, that roided up moron, Professor Mike, who now we're up to like 52 days.
Wait. I don't know who that is. Hold on.
He's only on TikTok and Threads, but he had agreed to do a debate with myself and Jovan 52 days ago. Or the debate was supposed to be 52 days ago. He agreed to it well over 2 months ago. 52 days ago, Professor Mike was supposed to come on and debate. Day of, vague excuse, something came up, I can't be there. Vague excuse, I can't be there. I won't be at the thing because of vague excuse. But I will reschedule when I have the time. Apparently hasn't had the time now for 52 days, despite the fact that he's making all these dumb videos, despite the fact that he's complained I'm not showing up to, I never agreed to go on TikTok to debate him over on TikTok on random nights. This guy has no time. Anyway, he was just describing how women and most Americans shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Did you see the Guardian article that I sent you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read it yet, and it's going to take, it's
Yeah,
not a tarot deck.
I can vamp at the chat if you want to just glance over it really quick.
I thought that was funny.
I wasn't listening.
I said it's not a tarot deck. It takes time to read.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think I'm really interested in getting into that topic and seeing if the chat has anybody who wants to call in about it. Because it's just been
50 years
crazy.
She got.
Yeah. Yeah. So because of this, I learned what propaganda of the deed is this week.
Yeah.
I did not know that term, but people are pointing out, like, if you get 50 years in prison for passing out zines, then it kind of like in some ways reduces the incentive to not do other things that would normally get you 50 years in prison. So it's rough right now.
This is fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is truly like, okay, we're at a level where this could directly impact us.
Right. I look forward to her pardon.
Yeah, that'll be great in the hypothetical future where we have a different president who isn't also an insane fascist.
Man, just come on.
Maybe
Stroke.
demented is a better term.
Come on, blood clot. You can do it. I know you can do it. Luthien, I don't know if you've seen, there's a call to screen. If you got a second, if you could jump on that.
Yeah, she's in there.
Where is she? Why hasn't
She's
she
in there.
joined yet? Oh, okay. She's not in the Zoom, though.
Oh.
Our Zoom. I want her to be able to talk to us.
Oh.
Anyway, this country's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
We're so dumb. This country is just full of confident dumb people. And that's the problem, is the confidence. And how stupid they are and how stupid their positions are. And yet they feel so confident. And it's funny because they will act like they will suggest their high IQ, but always resort to, and it's just common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I might suggest to you that maybe your IQ isn't that high if what you think the height of intelligence is that which is common sense. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want things that are higher than common sense. I want things that have nuance. I want things that weren't determined by like Bob, and Bob.
Yeah. I want expertise actually to lead our decision making.
He was welding some stuff together, and then he was telling us, well, a boy can't be a girl because when I weld some metal to each other, a poompa can't be a hoopa.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we got a live one.
What the fuck, guys? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with us?
Indeed.
We already did this guy the other day. Yeah. It's so dumb. All right. Jeremiah's back. Jeremiah's whole thing is that being gay is describing impulsive sexual behavior. And it was explained to him to the point that he had to accept that being gay is not only about the sex you have, and that pride is not only about the sex you have, but in fact, the history of the oppression of queer people and getting past all of that. But his thesis statement that he gave to the screener was, impulsive sexual behavior is not inherently good. Is impulsive sexual behavior inherently bad? Jeremiah, you're up.
Some people have some people have good impulsive sexual behaviors, like to settle down.
I'm sorry, your question was, are impulsive sexual behaviors inherently bad? That was your question.
And I said no.
No, you didn't. You said, well, some people have good, you literally went off about other people's,
and have children.
You went off about other people's impulsive sexual behaviors, and that they're good. You did not say no. So impulsive sexual behavior is not also inherently bad. Is gay sexual behavior always impulsive? Can you have non-impulsive sex as a gay person?
Yes.
Great. So why would it be a negative thing to celebrate the non-impulsive gay sex?
Well, I'm just stating what everyone knows. If you go to a pride parade, it's not exactly against impulsive sexual behavior. It is actually a demonstration of.
Yeah, you just said that it's not inherently bad, so why do we need to be against it?
Why should it be against impulsive sexual behavior?
We could go through examples of what types of sexual behavior are good and which are bad, if you'd like.
I actually want to pause.
That having sex with strangers is good.
I want to pause this for a second because I want to know, Jeremiah, why have you reset your position on something that you've already changed your mind on the last time you called?
I haven't changed my position on anything since the last time I called.
No, he conceded to points last time he called and doesn't keep track of those because all he knows is that he is devastated by his attraction to men. And so to push those down, he has to call in. So, Jeremiah, which negative sexual impulsive behaviors does pride promote?
There's a lot of, like, if you look back at the history, you know the history of Pride, right? Like, what it's really a commemoration of the first Pride.
I love that he's saying that when last time he called in, it was very obvious he hadn't heard about Stonewall. I brought up Stonewall, and he was like, it was like a thing and a whatever. So I'm going to ask your question again, and we'll see if we can finally, for the first time ever, get a direct answer. Which negative, impulsive sexual behavior does Pride promote?
Meeting up with strangers and having sex, like what happened
Why
at
is
Stonewall.
that negative? Why is it negative to meet up with strangers and have sex?
Well, the most obvious one is that it is much more likely to spread disease.
So you're saying unsafe sex with strangers is negative.
No,
sex,
And unprotected and unsafe sex, unprotected and unsafe sex is not promoted at Pride. Unprotected and unsafe sex is not promoted at Pride. In fact, safe sex is the only thing promoted by Pride.
Yeah.
Do you know what the safest form
Jeremiah,
of sexual behavior is?
Hold on real quick. You can't say that having sex with strangers is inherently dangerous when the community you're talking about is really on top of having safe sex, no matter if it's a long-term partner or if it's a one-night stand. Straight people are actually contracting HIV at way higher rates than gay people nowadays because you people don't have safe sex, actually.
Right. And the funny thing here, Jeremiah, is most people who go to Pride don't have sex. It is not the majority of people at Pride having sex. Then, of the people who do have sex, most of them, I'm sorry, I wasn't done, Jeremiah. I'm not sorry, Jeremiah, I'm undone. Of those who do have sex, most of them do have sex with the people they already have sex with. And so, as far as whatever unsafe sex you're worried about, that unsafe sex is not promoted by Pride. And by the way, virtually all events where people gather, there will be some element of unsafe sex. And certainly you may see more of that at an event that has more sexuality to it in the first place, but that doesn't mean that that is what that thing promotes. Your logic here is, well, it isn't logic.
Would you like to hear my logic as it pertains to Stonewall in this issue?
You already showed you don't have a good understanding of Stonewall, because last time you've basically gone and looked up anti-Stonewall propaganda. There was a period of time where queer people were pushed into the shadows and more unsafe sex was happening because it wasn't like resources and safe sex was being offered to them. And so, no, I'm not particularly interested in your unnuanced take about why Pride is bad today when you still thought what happened at Stonewall was a good thing. That was what you stated in the last call, that Stonewall was a good thing and that police should be breaking up places that are sort of queer locations where people can feel safe being queer.
You want to discuss whether it's safer to have sex with a stranger or inside a committed marital relationship?
Except for
it's
no,
irrelevant.
because it's completely irrelevant.
We're talking about safe sex here. You guys are claiming
no,
that
we aren't.
Sex
no,
with
we aren't. We've been talking about impulsive
PrEP.
sex and whether or not impulsive sex is necessarily negative. And when we talked about safe sex sex is not defined as everything. Excuse me, I'm still not done.
Negative and unhealthy.
Cool, Jeremiah. We're going to have to go back to the mute thing because once again, on another show, you don't know how to let a person finish a fucking sentence. So 2 bits of advice. Never try to talk over me. And 2, stop caking the question in, do I want to talk to you about anything? You're just going to be always disappointed with the answer.
Yeah.
So to be clear, the definition of safe sex isn't whatever the safest form of sex is and nothing else. There are lots of things that are safe sex, and whether or not there are some things that are more safe than others don't matter. And at the end of the day, your question that you are terrified to apparently engage directly, your question is, what is wrong with anything that Pride is promoting? And why, now I'm adding a second, are you so obsessed only with what let's be so clear. You only care about what the wieners are doing with each other. You don't care what the lesbians are doing with each other. You don't care what the vaginas are doing with each other. Why are you thinking so much about gay male cock and not all of the other things that is represented at Pride, not all of the other stuff that goes on at Pride? Because the gay sex ain't it, ain't most of it, ain't even close to the main reason Pride is happening. So now we'll unmute and give you a chance to respond in 3, 2, 1. Cue Jeremiah answering some question he wasn't asked.
Well, yeah, the problem is not even just with the behavior of people meeting up at Pride and having sex with strangers, which does happen pretty frequently and is part of what is celebrated. The bigger problem is that it's a celebration of that very behavior. None of the people there are opposed to unsafe sex with strangers because it is a celebration of impulsive sexual
excuse
behavior.
Me, you are incorrect. You've just lied once again because you used the word unsafe sex. Everybody at Pride is opposed, virtually everybody, to unsafe sex with strangers.
You can get free condoms at Pride. They practically throw them at you. And once again, Jeremiah, no, Pride is not a celebration of sex, actually. It's a celebration of a community's resilience. I'm also not done talking. Hey, hot tip. Hey, Jeremiah, hot tip. Jimmy just said, don't talk over him. Hot fucking tip. Don't talk over me either, especially because I haven't had a chance to say my opinion yet. Thanks very much. Pride is a celebration of a community's resilience in the face of a country and a culture that wants them to go away forever, be invisible, die preferably. And actively people are dying currently. Like there's a transgender teenager who was killed like in Oklahoma in the past couple of years. Like that's just one example off the top of my head. Hate crimes actively happen to gay people still. Pride is about a community coming together and feeling safe with each other and celebrating the resilience and the fact that we're still here and we're proud of who we are, even though the culture makes us want to not be here, or the culture doesn't want us to be here. So have you come around to that yet? Have you figured it out yet? That Pride is not actually about sex. I don't think you're ever going to get that through your skull.
Nor was Stonewall. He is absolutely completely lying about Stonewall Inn was a safe place for queer people to meet. And sometimes when you are going to a place where the interest in people occurs, there is, but most of the people, like Pride, going to Stonewall weren't going there for sex. Now, he wants to keep bringing up the word stranger. Yeah. And it is undoubted, it is absolutely the case that in decades past, anonymous queer sex was more prevalent. So, Jeremiah, would you explain to us why? Why in the past? Why in the past was anonymous queer sex more prevalent than today?
I've not really seen any statistics to support that claim.
Jeremiah, I don't think you've seen any statistics to support any claim besides the ones you cherry pick for the bullshit that you put out here.
Who studies that claim? Who studies that?
That wasn't what you asked. In fact, you didn't ask.
I'm really
All
curious.
You said was you didn't.
Source of that claim. I've never heard anyone else claim that before, and I've never heard anyone make this claim. You're just asking me to assert that it's true.
Okay, well, here's the thing, Jeremiah. I'll explain it to you. I'll explain it to you, Jeremiah. So what you are railing against right now is a modern culture of like free, open, let's talk about it, let's have it, let's go have sex. Previously in the queer community, that was not the case. The sex that was had was anonymous, and it was down low, and it was on the side, and it was in secret. Why do you think that was the case?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know that I don't even believe that that's true.
You don't think that there was a period in time, like not even 50 years ago, where queer people had sex in secret and not openly? You don't think that that's ever happened in the human history of anything, well, that gay people have been keeping their relationships secret?
That still happens.
Yes, by the way, Jeremiah, since we're talking about stats, and you're saying it still happens, does it happen more often in accepting communities or non-accepting communities? If somebody's having anonymous sex, are they more likely a Republican or a Democrat?
I haven't seen any trends on that. I'm not aware of that.
You haven't seen. You literally just accepted something. You literally just moments ago accepted something because you thought it was useful for your thing, without worrying about if you've seen trends on it. Even though we're talking about the same thing. The fact of the matter is if there is a, you aren't supporting your fucking claims, dipshit. Jeremiah, you aren't supporting your claims, dipshit. We're having a conversation. If you want to go and do the sources thing, there are multiple places.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask a question. I have a question. I have a question. I have a question. I have a question. Where did you get your stats, Jeremiah, that the majority of people at Pride are there to celebrate having unsafe sex?
You're right. I'd love that.
Where did you get that from?
Gonna need a
I want to read the article. Give me the study.
The majority. I didn't say that the majority of.
You did.
I didn't say
you said that. That's the main.
Absolutely did.
Your whole argument is that that's the main point of Pride.
No one there is speaking against it. It is. It
yes,
literally
they are.
is.
Jeremiah, by
where are you getting that
methods of safe
any
sex?
Sexual behavior
Excuse me, Jeremiah.
Doesn't adhere to societal standards.
Yeah, Jeremiah, I muted you again because you are an insufferable piece of shit. Saying nobody there is speaking out against it, literally by distribution of safe methods. That is the number one way they are speaking out against it. By the way, there's way more materials at Pride about having safe sex and how to be safe. So while they don't sit there and like an apocalyptic preacher and go, you freaks, don't you dare, they do go, if you are going to have sex, do it safely. And here are the ways to do it safely. Because if a community is condemned by all the things they don't do, I got to tell you, last time I went to a religious fair, which was last year, I didn't hear anybody up there saying don't have unsafe gay sex. So by not condemning unsafe gay sex, by not using their platform, when they know that those types of fairs and celebrations result in Grindr having an uptick in user base, the Catholic Church that was putting on that fair, actually, I don't know if it was the Catholics, but whichever Christian church it was that was putting on that fair, because they were not out there speaking out against having unsafe gay sex and not platforming that loudly, clearly, they support it. That is a supportive of unsafe gay sex group. Jeremiah, when you are not allowed to exist peacefully in society and when things are happening illegally, the reason why during the period of Stonewall, anonymous sex like that would have been more prevalent than today, where the sex would have probably still been happening, but they might have exchanged more information first and it might have been ongoing, was because it was dangerous. And it was not only dangerous to you to let your not queer friends know, but even to queer people. Because guess what? They literally did undercover. Cops had gay sex to catch gay people. They had undercover stings, as well as you get somebody in who you just caught having queer sex, and you can get them for a reduction in sentence to name other queer people. It was the safest when they were having sex for them to be anonymous, or it at least felt safer as they're seeing their friends go to prison, go to jail, get brutalized by cops for being queer. And at the end of the day, Jeremiah, you have still expressed support for what the police did at Stonewall. So your opinion shouldn't matter to anybody who thinks that, regardless of if you think being gay makes sense or is gross or whatever, y'all who think that it's cool to brutalize people because they fall in love with or want to have sex with people that you aren't into is fucking insane. Except for I don't actually think that's what's going on here, Jeremiah. You strike me as a self-hating gay. The people this passionate about it are the ones that are like so wrapped up in their utter and complete shame for their own queer feelings. And this is the personality you have when you attempt to choose to be straight.
Promiscuity or going to a gangbang doesn't become safe sex just because you use PrEP, okay? Like,
no,
and that is exactly
I'm sorry, who said that? I'm sorry, whose position was that? Whose position was if you go to a gangbang and you use PrEP, you are now having completely safe sex? Who said that?
Condoms and PrEP and have
Who said
everyone
that?
test
Condoms
for
is.
STDs, and then
Actually, you are incorrect. Condoms.
Those are both
perfectly healthy.
Those are both safer sex options.
There's literally no such thing as completely safe sex.
Sex inside a committed
I'm sorry. Once again, you're muted because you think that you can talk when I'm talking. You are now moving the goalpost to completely safe sex. Never has that been invented. There is no such thing as completely safe sex. So that which is not completely safe sex doesn't mean it doesn't still fall in a category of safe sex. And if everybody at an orgy correctly uses a condom, the odds of any problem happening are extremely low. And if on top of that, you have individuals at specifically a queer, though now, as Lux has pointed out, it's no longer a queer majority issue. If you have people also going out of their way to do things like take PrEP, they are only increasing. There's a reason why you wanted to make it so specific at first to just taking PrEP at an orgy doesn't make it safe sex. Yeah, no shit, dirtbag. Nobody said it did. Correct use of condoms at an orgy is rather safe. But the goal line for whether it is safe or not, is it completely safe? Free of the possibility of any risk at all, which does not exist. By the way, safe sex can kill you without ever it being a STD or anything. Literally, there is no such thing as safe sex. I have a friend who died, or I should say I have a friend whose wife died having a stroke that was onset from the sex they were having.
Wow.
Like, legitimately, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's no such thing as completely safe sex. There's not even such thing as completely safe breathing.
True. Or eating, for that matter.
All right. So what you're doing here is you're going to claim that it's totally safe and cool to go to an LGBTQI2S plus gangbang orgy as long as everyone's been tested. They're wearing their condoms.
Yes.
And everyone's on
that's
PrEP.
all fine. All that's
We're
fine.
all
All that is fine. Everyone's been tested and everyone's wearing condoms is fine.
Jeremiah, real quick.
I just muted him again because he's just a fucking liar. Jeremiah just said that bullshit he strung together is what I'm saying is what pride is about. And we've already said it a million times. Sex is nowhere near close to the top of the list of what pride is about. Jeremiah is a self-hating, gay porn-loving super gooner who cannot get past how much he hates everyone else because he hates himself. What were you going to say, Lex?
Jeremiah, I know that you're using your mute time, just waiting for your chance to talk and not actually listening, even though that's how a conversation works. That's what a dialogue is like. It's like you listen and then you respond, because Jimmy just said there is no such thing as safe sex, because even if you're in a monogamous relationship, someone could die while having the sex. It literally doesn't even matter if you're using a condom or using PrEP. All sex inherently carries risk. So for you to then be unmuted and accuse Jimmy of saying, oh, so you're saying that if you go to a gangbang, it's perfectly fine and 100% safe. No, literally, he just fucking said there is no such thing as 100% safe sex. Yes, we can agree that there are degrees of safety. There's the safest sex you can have is masturbating, I think, probably. But even then, you could still get the stroke from the orgasm.
Most people don't consider sex with yourself sex.
But my point is, sexual behavior, like, there is a range. And so, yes, duh. Obviously, if I'm monogamously married and we have no condom sex regularly and we don't have to worry about it because I have birth control and neither of us are having sex with anybody else, so there's no STDs. So it's like a pretty safe version of sex, right? And
yet you still don't know any of those things, right?
Sure.
Like, none of those things are 100%. You could technically, the birth control could fail and an STD could happen because we don't. I was gone. My partner and I were apart for the last 36 hours. I'm extremely trusting of my partner, and I believe so strongly I would call it, I know that she didn't go and cheat on me. And yet, literally, I can't actually know. So there isn't an actual 100%. There's even in this scenario where she and I are monogamously having sex, clear test, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We can literally never have truly, completely safe sex.
It's all relative safety.
You can also die. You can break your penis. You can get a blood clot in your penis.
Yeah.
And then that shoots up into your lungs. You get a pulmonary embolism.
Yeah. So, Jeremiah, nobody here is saying that, anything that happens at a gay club is 100% safe because sex in general always carries risks. We're just talking about relative safety. And when we're talking about the queer community, again, and I don't think you even acknowledged that I said this earlier, you people are spreading HIV right now. We aren't. We use condoms. We use PrEP. We are not spreading diseases like you are because straight people don't have safe sex. So should we now like get rid of every bar that does a singles night? Bars are no longer allowed to do singles night because, oh my God, it's so unsafe. People are drinking alcohol. People get blackout drunk. People make mistakes. People are not using condoms. Oh, you can't even get any condoms at the singles bar. It's so unsafe. Like, listen to yourself. You sound like an idiot.
I'm a queer man. All of the quote unquote impulsive sex with what you would call strangers, as in somebody I met that night, has only happened as heterosexual sex.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jeremiah, here's your question for you to respond to. What is the number one thing people at Pride are actually celebrating?
Pop quiz.
I would say sexual liberation.
You would be incorrect.
Yeah, I literally told you the answer. This was an open note test and you failed.
You still think the number one thing is fucking because
you're
it's
not
what you are obsessed with.
You don't think people who support
that
sexual liberation are supportive of Pride?
I'm sorry, what was the question I gave you? Because this is, dude, do you recognize, Jeremiah, what a fucking liar
Pride,
you are?
Pretty much 100% would be say
Jeremiah,
part of it is a celebration of sexual liberation.
And yet that still wouldn't mean the number one thing Pride is celebrating is sexual liberation. Your question was, what is the number one thing? Your question was, so now I'm muting you again. Your question was, what is the number one thing? You said sexual liberation. I said wrong. You said, so you don't believe people there are celebrating sexual liberation? You don't know how to fucking fuck off. I'm just done. You're so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
you don't know how to have an honest discussion or debate or argument. You are so full of fucking fallacies. Legitimately, Jeremiah, I'd say go fuck yourself, but I know you would enjoy that because that is when you will actively and violently masturbate to the porn you are watching, which is all gay. It is legitimately, it takes self-loathing to work this, to try this hard to ignore the point. What you are worried about is not their sexual impulsivities. It's what you are feeling are impulsions in yourself. Eat my ass, it's ass flavored. Except you'd love it. That would be your own sexual liberation. You'd be like, oh my God, finally. But I'm not willing to take one for the team like that. Lowe's has a $2.50 bucket.
Why have I been handed this?
Ew.
That's funny.
Ew. Brian in, where are you? Just says America. Brian in America, you're on the line with Jimmy and Luxander. What's up, Brian? Did that not work? Let me hit it there. Brian, you're on the line.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, just want to get off, start off with just saying I'm also a self-hating super gooner, so just to clear the air.
Cool.
All right.
And are you super gooning to the gays?
Of course. What else?
Well, the straights.
Right. Of course. Yeah, no, so my actual argument here is going to be pretty simple. The topic I saw on the YouTube channel, and forgive me if I misunderstood it, but saying that Pride is being good for America. That's the thesis, right?
Yep, we're talking about queer Pride.
Yep.
Right. Good for America.
Yep.
Okay. My argument would be then, I think that Pride has been maybe one of the biggest drivers of the far right in America, and it's had an outsized negative impact. So that's my simple argument, consequentialist argument.
So,
okay. Do you want to support it?
Yeah, give us some meat to dig in here.
I have zero reason to accept that is the case. Pride gets bigger every year. More people have queer identities every year. Right now, trans people are kind of going back in the closet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But queer people broadly, as well as queer acceptance amongst even the right wing, has gone up. So I would need to hear your reasoning for your position because I don't see it right now.
Yeah, and I just like make sure I understand. You're saying pride is a critical element of the rise of far right parties, or like the right wing backlash that we're experiencing right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'm saying that it gives ample ammunition for people who have other, agenda to draw supporters. Basically, it's a reactionary movement. It's something that creates a large reaction. I think that we had better right-wing politicians in the 80s and 90s. I think since really like the 2000s, it's kind of gone down significantly with Trump. But yeah,
what would be worse for the queer community right now? Let's just talk now. What would be worse for us? Continuing to have pride parades, Pride Month, all that kind of stuff, or if we now capitulated and stopped having pride events and stopped celebrating our legal victories, because we're not only celebrating old legal victories, but new ones. Stopped gathering to remind each other that, to remind the people who may feel alone that there are a lot. Which one would be better, or we'll say worse? Which one is worse for the queer community? Pride continuing or pride stopping?
Well, I think for the queer community specifically, it would be disingenuous to say that they would want pride to stop or it would be good for them to stop. And we don't know what the impact would be on politics overall if that one element was changed. But we're talking about America.
That can't be a thing that you defend behind, because you're literally calling in with I can't know this is true position. So we're talking about on the basis of what we do know, what we expect to be the most likely. Your position is inherently an I don't know, but I'm thinking it would be X, Y, or Z.
Right. No, I'm just saying for the queer community specifically, I don't know what the outcome would be, but I'm saying for America overall, I'm not necessarily concerned about the outcome for the queer community's argument.
But
outcome for America,
they flow one into the other. If queer people basically go back into isolation, go back into non-celebration, the pride parades come up, you would have a bigger cultural impact, and then acceptance of queer people, and just the overall look at how much acceptance of queer people have changed. How old are you? 29? You probably should still be old enough to remember that when you were a kid, queer people were way less accepted than they are now. And it's been from exposure to queer people and then finding out that you're related to a queer person or a person you liked was a queer person, because these are people who have a robust, strong community and culture worth celebrating. There isn't actually a separation between, only literally in the phrase, is there any difference between what is good for America? Is pride good for America versus is pride good for queer people? They're the same. The outcome of one is the outcome of the other.
I don't really see how that follows, right? Like if we were to not have,
I just explained it.
Like if we were to say that, no, I'm making a counter argument, right? The counter argument being that if we had different politicians serving Supreme Court justices because in this hypothetical scenario, there was a lack of pride, or it wasn't as prevalent as it wasn't driving this reactionary backlash, that would be better on average for Americans. We'd have better policies, we'd have better economy, we would have, more responsible leaders. We wouldn't be engaging in all these terrible wars, illegal war crimes. Not necessarily that we wouldn't do that, but I don't see how it follows it just because, people's feelings are, it's going to be bad for them. And there's lots of people in America who are queer that somehow translates to all of America. And the fate of the queer community are the same. It's hand in hand.
The economy, if there's a group of people who are like underemployed and underhoused, so they're draining our resources in welfare and they're killing themselves and have poor mental health outcomes, then like that's bad for our entire economy, especially if we're talking like 5% of the total population. Like, so that is, and just because one issue might not impact like whether our country is involved in wars doesn't mean that we can't still measure whether it's good for the country in some other metric, such as the economy. And also culturally, like the idea that people, like that acceptance reduces interpersonal violence, for example, that like teaching acceptance reduces the instances of bullying of children, like, and you still haven't really connected for me, like how pride itself is responsible. We've had pride for 50 years, and there have been periods of very progressive politics and there's now a very recent fascism happening. So it does not really link to me that like, oh, so like, why did the fascism not start 40 years ago? Why did it take 50 years for Pride to negatively impact our country? Like, you have not connected the dots there for me.
Yeah, you really need to ground this idea that the main thing they're voting against, arguably, they are voting against brown people more than they are voting against queer people.
Primarily, yeah. Right.
That is very clearly a bigger cultural reactionary position, is what are brown people doing and what benefits are they getting that I feel like I deserve and they don't, is a far bigger driving factor. And I assume you don't hold the same. I guess I'll ask you, Brian, do you also believe that we should stop Black History Month and cultural celebrations of various brown people if there are people out there using that to inflame reactionary politics?
Yeah, is Juneteenth and DEI responsible for the downfall of our nation right now?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't see any.
Oh, okay.
I don't see how that's such an irrational claim to make.
So to be clear, it is your essentially it is your position that because cishet white reactionaries are extremely fragile and will use the existence of brown people and queer people to try and turn other individuals into reactionaries, we should discontinue the acknowledgement, celebrations, and holidays commemorating those people.
Yeah, like I want to be clear.
Accommodate their white fragility.
Yeah, to be clear, Pride and Juneteenth, for that matter, that's that group of people. So the queers get together and we have a party and we are literally going and creating a separate space for ourselves to celebrate our community and to be in love with each other, like to be surrounded with love in our community. And so the fact that people don't like us minding our own damn business, you're saying it's our fault, the people who are minding our own business and doing our own thing and staying away from straight people, that we are the problem and not the people who are taking issue with us for literally no reason. We didn't do anything to them.
Do women who get raped bear responsibility if they were wearing something slutty?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny. No, of course,
it's not funny, Brian. It's the exact same thing. You're literally describing that we would be more comfortable. I'm going to explain to you how it is right now. We would be more comfortable in society if we would accommodate the negative feelings about us and go out of our way to avoid those people who would do us harm, avoid their attention, avoid their reactions. And if she would just wear something less slutty, she would have avoided the misogynistic man who thinks that entitles him to her body. It is identically the same. You are victim blaming. You are sitting here and going, well, Pride's bad for us because if you would just accommodate the straight white man.
This is look what you made me do in a political theory. You've drafted a political theory around look what you made me do.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
How is that not the case? You're saying that fascists are creating scapegoat groups. Fascists don't like queer people and they don't like brown people. And so it's brown people and queer people's fault. That is the literal straight line from one thing to the next. That is what you're saying. It's victim blaming.
If you want to at least acknowledge it and say, look, it sucks, but it's still true. If you want to say I don't want to victim blame and it's not fair, but if you want to live peacefully, you need to
tone it down,
dress more modestly because the men are always going to rape you if you don't. You're welcome to take that position, but pretending they're not the same position is crazy.
Well, let's think about it, right? You said that Pride was something that the queer community does off on its own, and that people from outside of the community are attacking the community, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what is occurring, yeah. Like objectively, That's what's occurring.
Right. So how is the Biden administration part of the queer community when they have a Pride celebration on the White House lawn?
They invited the queer community, did they not?
Brian, allies are part of the queer community. The community isn't just the people who are. You know that I literally participate with we just had Mandisa on. Mandisa considers the line part of the Black non-believers community. And despite the fact that there's not that many black people at the line.
Yeah, but we stand in solidarity and we work together. So we are part of a community together, working toward the same goals of acceptance and liberation.
Does it bother you that the Biden administration, by the way, here's the exact way the Biden administration is the part of the queer community. Hey, Lux, you queer?
Yup.
In 2022, who was your president?
Is Biden, right? I don't remember what year it was.
Joe Biden presided over your queer ass?
What? That's crazy.
So Joe Biden was a part of your community. That's how they're a part of the community. The man literally, regardless of whether I want him to be or not, is my president. Donald Trump should be having a pride celebration, should be doing a queer celebration, and isn't, because he doesn't care for queer people and he knows it'll be bad for his base. He actually isn't as weirdly, while he has said some homophobic things, he definitely did so to be politically advantageous. The man internally is not as homophobic as most Republicans. It's a strange thing.
Actually weirdly chill about it.
Right, but it's worse. I will sell out queer people for my own advantage, not because I dislike them.
Yeah, it's a different kind of awful.
Right. I totally agree with that.
But so I want to get back to this, what you were saying, Brian. The idea that pride is a thing that we are doing for ourselves. And then your counter to that was, well, Biden invited queer people to celebrate pride at the White House. So that doesn't really challenge the thing that it's like, if you're straight and you don't want to have anything to do with pride, you can stay home on Saturday. Like, it's still us celebrating our community, doing our thing, having our celebration, and it's not harming anybody. So if people take issue about us and they attempt to harm us because they just don't like that we're having a party, over here, we got a permit and everything. We got a permit and we cleaned up after ourselves. So the city is still nice and clean after our parade or whatever. People are taking issue with us doing our own thing, and they want to kill us, and they are passing laws that result in us dying. And you're saying that that's the fault of the people who were having a celebration in the park and not the fault of the people who are attacking us for no reason.
No, it's clearly the fault of the people who are attacking you. I'm just making the case that the celebration itself is not necessarily good for America. You see the distinction there?
It is.
Like, I'm not assigning
queer people are Americans
for their actions to you. I'm just saying that their actions are influenced by your behavior. It's not the same thing as saying that you caused it or you're responsible for what they do. Oh, there was no way you could prevent it.
The celebration and its proliferation.
Pride is not causing the issue, though. So pride is not the thing that is making our nation worse.
It is in fact a measure of how it's getting better.
Yeah, and like I said,
it is reflecting the improvement.
Yeah.
Of our conditions.
If we have greater acceptance in our communities, then like I said earlier, there are measurable things that make our country better. Less bullying in schools makes our country better. Queer people being accepted and able to get good jobs makes our country better. So yes.
By the way, as a tradition, pride is also a straight tradition. The number of straight people who are coming around on queer issues and then are like, all right, I'll go check out pride. The number of people you meet and it's their straight people and it's their first pride and they're literally coming out of their shell and they're just like, oh my God, turns out you guys aren't having unprotected gay orgies in the middle of the street, unlike this guy I talked to earlier. Literally, it is a tradition of it's like Hooters. Hooters is a tradition in the queer community too. It's literally, it is a measure and a reflection of the progress. And you still have yet to ground for us that we should believe that Pride happens every June. It seems to be that your thesis would be reflected in that in May, there are less homophobes. And come August, once June is passed, or July, in May, there are less homophobes than there are in July because Pride happens in June, and the reactionary benefit of Pride results in an increase in homophobia from May to July.
Well, you wouldn't want to say that Pride ends at the end of June, would you? I mean, that's just...
Don't be dumb.
I don't think that's fair at all.
Are you being honest in this conversation, Brian? Because it's starting to feel like this is not an honest conversation, because you were asked a question and then you made a cheeky remark, and we're trying to be serious right now.
We've obviously been talking about
I
the
thought it was a
thing
cheeky
formerly
question. I mean,
referred
you're
to as
talking about
pride.
time-bounded voting changes.
He's
asking you a
clearly
question.
talking about the formal thing known as pride, which, yes, ends at June. We're not talking about the abstract concept of pride. Yes, you did, because from the onset of the conversation, you've been engaging as though you understood it. You're now trying to be dishonest to get out of. You thought it was a funny point to make that would get you out of your shitty argument.
No.
The point is, after the parade in June, in June, are there more homophobes after the parade celebration? That's the question that you've been asked.
I have no way of knowing the answer to that question.
Okay, but that's the claim that you're making, though.
Argument.
That is the essential claim that you're making, is that pride makes homophobic people take over and do bad things for our country.
Whereas where the actual data shows that year over year, more people accept queer people than the year before. There are occasionally years that offset, but if you then broaden out to like a 5 or a 10-year scale, those still remain pretty consistent of overall acceptance going up. And so you're calling in with an alternative theory that actually the proliferation of pride is resulting in an increase in homophobia, and we just want you to ground that assertion.
But my assertion was not that it increases homophobia. It was that it resulted in reactionary politicians gaining power.
What is the base of that reactionary
policy outcomes?
What's at the bottom of that reactionary thing going on? What is the mechanism behind the reactionary response?
I usually am all about pedantry.
I generally think it's religious affiliation. I honestly think it's religious affiliation.
Okay, now go a step lower. Religious affiliation in causing what? Promoting
what? So the answer you're looking for is homophobia, right?
Yeah, homophobia.
No shit.
It's not the one I'm looking for. Okay. It's the correct answer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, man. Who did you vote for, Mr. Centrist?
So you're saying that the number of homophobes is the contingent fact, not the like level of.
I like that
people
question.
have
Brian, who did you vote for in 2024?
Voting, right?
Brian, who did you vote for in 2024? What are the top 5 reasons people who voted against Kamala Harris? What were the top 5 reasons that they cited?
Let me look. I'm off the top of my head.
Can you name any of them? Do you think homophobia, that queer issues, was any of them?
Gas prices, eggs, trans bathrooms.
But gas prices and eggs things came after, because gas prices were down and eggs hadn't yet exploded. That happened under Trump.
In 2024, that wasn't part of what they were campaigning on?
I just want to be clear, because you did say trans bathrooms, and that is a pride-related issue. So you did just confirm that your speculation, Brian, is that people voted against Kamala Harris because of pride and gay people and queer people. That's what you just said.
At best, you could say that the broad culture war stuff that they wanted to do, which was around the number 4 issue, includes queer rights, but it was far more focused on quote unquote illegal immigrants.
Oh, immigration. Immigration. Yeah, it's big. But I mean, the economy was a big factor too. Like, I think that the egg thing did
inflation
happen that during the Biden administration. Inflation, yeah.
Gas was actually cheaper than it was now. Than it is now. What?
Wait, what?
Prices of groceries, inflation. It's not. As far as queer pride goes, and we're talking about pride, the month of June, pride being a positive for America, because one, it is a community builder for a culture of people, a robust culture of people who are celebrating where they've come from, their history, what they've overcome, just like all the other cultural people do. And going back to kind of the thing we had already talked about, everything that you have said without some good data to show us for, we could then take to every other culture that the cis-het white people don't like. And we could cancel all the brown holidays. We can cancel all the brown months, all of the ethnic, except for St. Patrick's Day. That's That's when the white people destroy, and they don't clean up after the way the queers do. You ever seen a campsite that was brought to you by a white dude?
Okay.
In what way, Brian, would it be better for our, because you said earlier that you do think that Black History Month is one of the things that has made the country worse. So like, in what way do you think that canceling those events would make the country better? Like, if we canceled Pride, how would that make our country better next year in June when we don't have it?
On a go forward basis, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm just going looking at the history of it.
So there's no basis for your position whatsoever. You have zero basis. You're just taking a baseless position that Pride makes America worse, because you can't even identify a way in which getting rid of it would make America better, which tells me that you don't actually have any reason to believe that it makes America worse.
I even live in a
I have no reason
pretty
to believe the Trump
homophobic.
administration is going to leave power now. So
I live in a pretty homophobic
the
little
Trump
town near
administration will leave power.
Austin, and they don't want Pride to end because it's a huge economic thing for them.
No
every
kidding.
year
Yeah, all the gays come out and spend their money.
in their town.
Yeah.
They have the big event, and they get to pretend they're not as evil as they are.
And did we just establish that trans people was not in the top 5 reasons that people voted against Kamala Harris? So it wasn't actually part of Trump's reelection.
You can bring them into one of the top 5 as part, but they aren't even the most. The social issues, culture war shit was number 4.
Okay.
And so it was.
It's mostly the economy, though.
That's based on polling. We have never seen the whatever the thing the Democrats did. Their
internal investigation of why they lost. Yeah.
Yeah, their autopsy.
They won't release it.
They're probably not releasing that, as Gaza's probably pretty close to the top.
Yeah. So it does not seem like Trump won because of people not liking Pride. It seems like Trump won because of a lack of confidence in the economy.
Well, let's also be clear. More powerful than all of those things, but they're not going to report it on there. She's a brown woman.
Well, yeah, duh. Like, yeah, she was a woman and she was brown, and America apparently is not ready for that yet. But like, Gaza is up there, like her failure to distance herself from the Gaza situation. So yeah, I don't really see any credible reason to believe that Pride is why Trump is in power or why we're at this fascism place that we're at right now. We've had Pride for 50 years, and it only just got this bad right now. Again, mostly on the back of the anti-immigrant rhetoric. So,
actually, Brian, by the way, you'd be able to point to stuff easily right now if your point was correct, because while this year we have Pride, there are fewer events because of Republicans shutting more things down, and many more corporations aren't doing their symbolic bullshit anymore. The rainbow capitalism stuff. Organizations that you usually expect Pride representation and commercials and people being like, here's our Pride line, here's our rainbow line. Representation of Pride is way down.
And that happened under Biden. Like the whole Target thing happened under Biden's presidency. So
started then. But right now it's lower than ever. So in theory, either, if you are correct, either oppression should be going down or not either. In your theory, you'd be able to point to examples of actually that change having a correlation, causation, both effect on oppression lessening and queer thriving increasing. But what I'm seeing is these little fuckers feeling themselves empowered by the fact that they are defeating queer positions and queer celebrations and queer existence in society and going and doing it more. So it's just your position of like, yeah, but then if they ran out of things to cancel, they'd have to just stop canceling? Is that the simplicity of what your logic is? Well, I guess you can make an argument that,
I guess, now that you bring it up, you can make an argument that there's more Democrats winning seats in red states this year. And there's been more Democrats winning, more far left Democrats winning primaries than there have been, or more towards, like less towards the center of the party.
Wait, Brian, this is your argument because the people that you are describing are not the people I was just talking about. Corporations are doing it less. The DSA candidates, they're talking about gays and trans like crazy.
Yep.
They're draped in flags running around.
I'm not talking about narrow. I'm talking aggregate. We just talked about how it was nationwide and it's the Republicans canceling. Obviously, the DSA didn't cancel Pride. Like that's an insane thing for you to.
They covered themselves in pride.
What we're saying, Brian, is that
but you see how that's an insane position to put me in.
The people the reactionaries are targeting are succeeding against the reactionaries, which means that the people who are supporting them and the people who are supporting the reactionaries are the people seeing the stuff and exposing themselves to the stuff the most. You're trying to go off and go like, I can find one positive that's happening over here. Therefore, that positive is because queer representation has gone down.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to find some argument I can make that would fulfill your criteria. Having any argument.
So could I could just swap in and go, actually, it's because of all the deportations, because we have to see less illegal immigrants around. That's why the DSA, there's less reactionaries to those illegal immigrants, and that's why the DSA was able to succeed, because the people, the reactionaries were less angry, because that's what reactionaries do. They get less angry when they get their way. And so, in a way, all of that ICE action was actually a positive, and why the DSA. And I could say that, and I will have established a correlation, but will I have established a causation, Brian?
No, you won't.
And so have you?
I'm not making a causal argument.
Then what are you doing here? Yes, you are.
I'm sorry. Argument based on outcomes that pride is not good for America. You are placing pride as the causal reason. That's your opening argument, my dude. That's what's in the screening. I don't know if maybe there was a miscommunication between you and the screener,
Arguments are only causal.
Your entire argument is pride has caused our nation to be worse now.
Arguments are literally only causal.
Otherwise, we'd be talking
about. Otherwise, we could be talking about movies. Keanu Reeves movies causing ice cream sales or whatever the stupid shit is.
Yeah.
That's why data analysis is hard to be a multivariate, system. Like, this is a multivariable thing. You're absolutely right. We have so many different issues, a plethora of issues, in fact. And for you to just say that, oh, well, because yours isn't the only one causing it, is not discrediting our argument.
No, that's not what I've said. I've said you haven't. We're 30 minutes in and you have yet to present a causal link. You've only established correlations.
You want to talk about the tragic speculating. I'm only going to be able to establish correlation.
Then your argument is no
Anyone
good.
would only be able to establish correlation.
No.
Actually, with a claim like this, you could hypothetically create a causal relationship. The problem is that there isn't one. And that's why you're struggling.
Think causation is ever established? In anything ever?
I do think causation can be established with sufficient evidence. There's just not sufficient evidence as to why people vote the way they do. Otherwise, voting would be a solved problem. And pollsters would be 100% accurate.
So basically, what you're saying is, no matter what, because again, we've pointed out multiple times that if you were right, you'd be able to point to other things, but you're cherry picking down to just, we don't really know why people vote the way they vote, and none of those other things. So yeah, you abandon that one and you go for the data points that you can connect and go, hey, we now have this many data points and we see the way they interweave and interact, and here is the through line to them. This seems to establish a causation. Instead, you're just saying, like, I think it's that, but we'll never know. All right, well, call us when you know, Brian. I just found out I wasted 30 minutes of my day.
You're talking about the history of it, right? You're talking about how if there was a trend over time, it would be a progressive increase in reactionary movements and negative, right-wing politicians gaining power within their party or across the government overall, correct?
These are four examples that could have happened. These are four examples could have happened. Multiple examples were given to you. So, but Brian, you've already said you cannot make a causal argument. So there is no point in continuing. Call back, go do some work, see if you can find the causal argument, and then call back with it. Cool?
Evangelical is shifting from left to right. I'm going to leave you with that.
Okay.
I didn't hear. What did he say?
I don't know. Evangelicals are putting things in.
I heard evangelical. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I got from that. We going for the an extra hour, or not extra hour, but we're going for wrap up after this one.
Yeah, maybe we'll do soups. John in Pennsylvania. John in Pennsylvania, you're on the line with Luxander and Jimmy. What's up, John?
What's up?
Not all too much. What's up with you?
L-I-V-I-N. Well, what do you want to talk about today, John?
Well, I was having a discussion with my philosophy tutor about if a prisoner just decides that they don't want to eat no matter what, and they're just not going to, what should we do with them? And
I mean, I'm a leftist, so I would respect their bodily autonomy.
Yeah, are we talking about this in the context of like the hunger strikes? Like, are we talking about a situation in which an imprisoned person is refusing food in protest, like in a hunger strike, or are you just like somebody who's given up on life and doesn't want to live out their sentence anymore? What's the context?
That's what I mean. It's like this guy is just broken by captivity. He can't handle it. He doesn't want to, and so he's just not eating.
It's funny too, because if we were living in my leftist vision, the opportunity for these occurrences would have so dramatically decreased. But bodily autonomy, I don't know what to tell you. Like once they pass out, conditions? Maybe you medically treat them, because you do have an obligation to treat people who have lost consciousness and can no longer make choices for themselves. But I suppose if they had a DNI, or DNR, I mean,
yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't force feed them. Is that what you're asking? Would we force feed them? I wouldn't force feed them.
Yeah, and literally anything other than that, I think.
Yeah. Well, what we were getting at is taking things as they are, and that this is an occurrence. What should happen? Of course, we shouldn't force feed them, but this guy just won't eat,
John,
no matter what.
What about this show made you think we should be the ones to decide that? What the fuck? I don't know, John. I will tell you, I wouldn't force feed them. I think that would be a violation of bodily autonomy. But beyond that, John, I don't fucking know.
Why is bodily autonomy? But
what?
I think he said that's what he's getting at.
What I wanted to.
I would respect their bodily autonomy as best as I understand to do so. But I legitimately, I don't fucking know, dude. Just give people health care.
If a prisoner.
Let's stop putting addicts in prison. I don't like fucking Christ. We're so far away from this being a problem I need to contribute to.
Listen, we had Epstein on watch because he was a witness for a thing. But if there was a guy who was just in prison, he'd already been sentenced, and he decides to kill himself, we don't necessarily try to police that. So if they're trying to kill themselves by not eating, I don't know. I don't know.
More nuance than that. You offer them psychological services.
Sure.
And all
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah. We would want to. Yeah. Get into that a little bit. Did you just hang up on him?
No, John hung up himself. Yeah.
Okay.
There's another person. Looks like they're trying to queue up. I don't know. We'll see.
Did you want to close the lines, or we can keep going? I don't mind.
I won't close them this very second. I am gonna, however, go pee.
Go to the bathroom finally. Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you just handle...
I'll just handle this, you guys. It's so hard to have conversations with people who are like, I don't like pride, and pride is bad for America, and pride is all these bad things. When I'm like, I have been crying this week because I'm going to a pride event soon where some of my friends are going to be. And I'm like crying about the idea of getting to hold my friends' hands, just to be in the presence of my friends and be like, this is a place where we are safe and we are together. That's what pride is for me. And to have people be such an asshole about it is kind of crazy. It's pretty wild to me. The juxtaposition between how all of these, I don't even know, I was like, it's these quote unquote centrists who are like, I think pride is all about the sex that you want to have. I'm like, sure. My partner, the person I have sex with, is not even going to pride with me. So yeah, it's so interesting that for me, pride is this wholesome, beautiful opportunity to be with my people and to feel like, I don't have to worry about being misgendered or like having people be an asshole to me for no reason, like that I don't have to posture like I'm not queer because I might be unsafe in a situation. Like, yeah, it's really interesting. The completely just out of touch. I mean, frankly, it's just out of touch that these people are like, yeah, oh my God, it's all about the sex you've had. I finally had to quit a Facebook group that I was in where I was trying to talk to other people who live in Oregon and, figure out like, what are my neighbors thinking about? What are they doing? But there were so many posts at the beginning of June about like, oh, wouldn't it be so creepy and weird if I spent an entire month talking about how much I love heterosexual sex? Isn't that like, wouldn't that be obviously gross and weird? And oh, what if I was really hyped about telling children about it and everything? And it's like, yo, it's okay, cool. Yeah, we like adults have sex. And so yes, to some extent, our sexual orientation is going to be relevant to that. But above all else, it's like we have romantic relationships, we have friendships, and we want to be in community with one another, and we want to celebrate that we are resilient. I mean, it sucks that, Pride at this point, one of my friends I was talking to was like, I'm not sure if I'm going this year, with everything. I'm just not sure if it's safe. Like, okay, we are having to make calculations like, what if I get shot at this completely peaceful, beautiful event where I'm just there to be with my friends and to be surrounded by love, and like that people are a physical threat to our well-being and to our lives to such that we have to think about that. Like that on my list of things that I would like to learn is stop the bleed, because I want to be able to go to Pride and feel like if some crazy shit happens, I will be prepared and like nobody's gonna bleed out in an immediate sense. Yeah. Somebody says that's why I've never been to Pride. I mostly have not gone to Pride for similar reasons. I mean, also it's too hot and I don't regulate my body temperature very well. And if it was going to be too hot at the Pride event, like if it's going to be too hot at the Pride event, then I might have to recalculate whether I'm going. But the decision-making process of whether you go to a permitted public certified event and you have to worry about literally getting shot is like a really upsetting aspect of Pride nowadays. Welcome back, Jimothy, to the screen.
Yeah, that shit freaks me out too, where I'm like, oh man, this year looks like it's going to be bigger than ever, which probably is not great.
But that's also not unique to our community. Like the first mass shooting that has really personally touched like people I personally know and not just like my community in general was actually a Kansas City Chiefs celebration of their win at like some game. Like several of my friends were like near a mass shooting that happened at that. So it's like, that's more or less a straight Pride parade. So nobody's immune.
So that's the irony. Mine was queer. Do you remember that Colorado spring shooting with the person who then pretended to be non-binary to try to avoid a hate crime rap?
Bar. Yeah.
My friend got shot and survived, but got shot by that kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can line up that call if you want. I think we have one.
Okay. Oh boy. I see that name and I immediately go, ugh.
I'm working on something else, so I don't know.
You're working on something else. Okay. We're going to talk to Andrew, him, who's a libertarian from Colorado. Andrew, you are live with Luxander and Jimmy. Can you hear us? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Jimmy, I was a long-time listener of you back in the day. Back in the Mr. Atheist days.
Bummer.
Hell yeah.
But,
condolences.
Sorry to hear about your friend there. That's horrible. No person should be facing violence at all.
Yeah.
Regardless of where it's coming from, violence is never the answer.
Cool.
Okay. That's like kind of a bare minimum decent human being take, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
There's a lot of political violence going on right now, so let's your topic of the day caught my interest.
I'm surprised you resisted saying on both sides. All right.
I'm sorry?
Yep, go for it.
So you're asking if Pride is good for America?
Yeah.
I'm asserting that Pride is good
celebrations.
for America.
Correct, yeah. Pride celebrations, the month of June, queer pride, fucking parades, history
Trans
stuff.
Pride, yeah.
All that shit.
I do not agree with the assertion that Pride is good for America, but I do agree with the assertion that Pride is good for individuals in America.
Okay. Is it bad for America if you do not agree that it's good for America?
I think that a lot of the ideology behind Pride is very corrosive and very destructive.
Like
what? Let's take the history of the Stonewall riot, for example. It's been very whitewashed through history. The N was at that time was basically a mob ran prostitution.
Hey, are you driving?
Place. I am.
Okay. We'll take you when you're not driving. We don't take callers that are driving. That's unsafe. Call back. Probably going to have to be another day when you're not driving.
All righty.
It would be an interesting conversation to have because I find it silly to be like, because of the bad thing that it's, if it was true that it was whitewashed, how could it be hurting you now? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, so what?
Yeah, like the Stonewall Inn isn't currently a mob ran prostitution ring. Like, I don't like, how is that relevant to the modern day? And I was
supposed
also,
to be the
I'm like kind of
example
glad.
of the ideology being promoted, but we don't take drivers.
Yeah. I was like kind of not excited to have the same conversation that we had with Jeremiah.
Right. Well, and yeah, like also, are you actually here defending what happened at Stonewall? And are we still pretending we didn't, like 9/11 wasn't our fault? Are we still pretending that kind of shit is the case where it's like, now do remind us, why did queer people have to resort to secrecy and prostitution?
Yeah.
Was that their fault? Was that theirs? Was it? Oh, I'm getting a word from the producer. Was the whites' fault? Brought to you by the whites.
Yeah.
Pretty
ridiculous.
I don't know, people. I wish he hadn't been driving, but one, the audio quality dog shit. So even just out of self-respect, we had to end it. And two, it's dangerous. If something happened, we could be even just perceived as partially responsible when we
don't
should
need
have
an
done
insurance
something.
company trying to sue us for some idiot driving.
I don't even think it would be that. I think it'd be more like accountability shit, like people just being like,
oh, you just mean like people in the community, you caused this accident, you're canceled. Okay.
Or like you could tell he was on the phone. Why would you distracted driving, you guys are, it'd be a credibility hit.
Yeah.
But
we have
honestly,
very different priorities.
I'm more worried about the bad audio than y'all dying in car accidents. And that's as somebody who recently was in a pretty rough one. Pretty rough one.
How was PT today, by the way? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. It's I feel like I'm already doing most of the stuff at home and so basically just a couple times a week you go in and they're like, hey, we're gonna put the same electrodes on you and you're gonna do the same stretches, but we'll watch. So I feel like I've already I understand that the average person who does that kind of shit can't be trusted to keep track of their own shit.
Yeah.
But that's not me. If anything, I'm quite the opposite and very obsessive about my own shit to the point that sometimes I text people about what a good shit I just took. This was both a metaphor and not a metaphor.
I'm not on the poop list and I'm so offended.
You've never asked to be. You don't ever assume a person goes on your poop list. That's like assuming you're not on the nudes list either. Previously,
I don't want to be on the nudes list.
Asked, and now because we work together. These are lists that require an RSVP.
Fair enough. It's okay for you to put me on the poop list. I will accept being on the poop list.
To tell you the truth, I may, but the poop list is now so robust and like
There's too many people.
I'm getting enough.
You need to start
out
a
of
group
my
chat for your poops.
I'm getting enough out of my current poop list that I don't feel like there's a gaping hole in my poop world.
That's fair enough. Yeah, no, you got it.
And so we're taking care of it. Do we have more? Yeah. There's another
Somebody
one.
just came in. Yeah.
Luthien! There is another call if you don't mind screening it. You don't have to. Hang on.
I listened to Montero Call Me By Your Name for the first time in a long time today, and it is stuck in my head. I'm just filling the air because Jimmy is talking to someone else. We can't have dead air, okay? We have to vamp. What is everybody in chat? Tell me what your Pride plans were. Did you already go to Pride Parade? Are you going to Pride Parade? How many weekends do we have left? Two more Pride weekends? Just one more Pride weekend.
It's getting screened. We were having a discussion about groceries.
Oh, I thought it was going to be about your poops.
Poops. But by the way, you did get on the list today. I told you about the monster earlier. Sometimes the list is just I talk about it when you're here. Was
That's
that
true.
was that live or did I say that beforehand?
I think it was before
the show.
I think
Okay.
so.
So all these people don't know that I took a monster today. No, I
And now
feel
they're
like
all on
because
the
then I
list.
made a joke about maybe needing a poop knife, like and that seems like something I would say on air, but maybe I'd say it off air too.
And then I said something about European toilets. I feel like that was off air. I don't know. If you've been here since the beginning, tell me if that conversation was on or off air.
Yeah, somebody tell us. Well, this call screens about whether or not the entire chat made it on the poop list today.
Mm-hmm.
Did all of chat make it on the poop list?
I think they have now.
Oh my God, that's got to be a tier on fucking Patreon, right?
Go on the poop list on Patreon.
Put a number 3 in the chat if you would join a Patreon tier called the poop list for, let's call it $7 a month. $7 a month to get on the poop list.
We are not above monetizing anything.
People just in like a year from now in the future are like, oh, do I want to go support on what is the poop list?
Gosh.
We heard it. Okay, so yeah, everyone made it onto the poop list today. Release the poop files. For the record, just so everyone knows, in case there's any worries, I do not send photos to the poop list. That is a step way too far. I think we should be talking about it, but I'm even in a number of poop list like subreddits, and whenever those people put a photo up and don't blur it as a spoiler,
Yeah, that's not cool.
not cool at all. If you're just scrolling Reddit and then there's just somebody in there, and you know, I understand that a lot of them are like scared and they're like, oh, my poop is this way today, and like, what do I do about my poop? Like, I get that and I feel for them. That's just
I feel like that kind of thing only proliferates in a country where you can't go to the doctor. Like, how many of us have to like do weird internet asking strangers question level research because we can't just go to a doctor when we have a concern?
Yeah, but there are people who will volunteer to take the blur off, so don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't force your poo in my eyes. That's how you get pink eye, and I don't want
Is how you get pink eye.
That's how you get pink eye. I like whenever somebody tells you they have pink eye, and I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to admit that in polite society that we pooped in our eye. So the other day I was just handling a bunch of poop and
I don't know.
just
Listen,
rubbed my eye.
Sometimes things happen. You know, you're 69ing, and sometimes.
Is that the main place, Red?
I am just making jokes. I am just making jokes.
Is that the main source of my mouse is being fucking whack right now? I don't know what's going on.
But you're
with it.
69ing, and so then the butthole is at eye level, you know?
First of all, the problem there was, I understand why periodically we all go like, am I forgetting that was fun? It's not. It's the most overrated position in the whole. There are a couple of ways to do it, and if you're really in the mood, on your side's way better than the like traditional porn way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just not that good, guys. And you don't have to. It's like beer. Not everybody needs to pretend they like it. And look, For the fact that all of you are saying you do when only 3 of you actually eat ass, let's just stop lying about it. Let's stop pretending that it's a thing you're doing.
The straights are colonizing eating ass. I don't like it.
It's not for you.
Kill myself, dude. Oh God.
Why is my mouse doing this?
I don't know.
I'm getting like weird mouse behavior.
Oh yeah, and you just froze for a second.
Will you
I don't.
Preparing security options. Oh, it's not doing it now. I Control Alt deleted and now it's freaking out.
Rip in pieces. I like your Spider-Man shirt. I just noticed.
Thanks. Okay, wait. What the fuck? All right, my computer is being whack. Does it have anything to do with the shadow PC that I have open? Do I need to have a talk with it?
It needs a stern talking to.
So we're producing from a shadow PC today because I'm testing out some things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a dick. Okay, we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do. Is it Control Windows O that opens up the?
I can't believe you mogged your girlfriend's Spider-Man shirt. That's crazy.
I did. Is that what the word mogged means?
I think so. I don't know. I'm just kind of going off of context.
I think mogged is when you are purposely standing around somebody you're more attractive than.
Oh yeah, essentially a visual upgrade.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think it's whatever.
I guess I was like thinking of it in like you're premiering it and in a superior way or something. I don't know. I slept for 5 fucking hours last night. So
oh, she definitely looks better in this than I do. Holy shit, I can't get my mouse is doing this thing where it's like moving like in tiny little jitters only a little bit at a time.
Is there like some gunk stuck to the bottom of your mouse?
No. It's nothing to do with the mouse because when I went to Task Manager, it
was fine.
It stopped. Nor when it went into that blackout screen. Yeah.
Okay.
So right now I'm just trying to like I'm trying to get the shadow PC to close, but I can't. I don't want it to turn off the shadow PC.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to merely 69 it.
Well, does that mean that we are running up on the end of our functional time today?
Well, in theory, you could pick up the call.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to I don't want to have this conversation.
There's another one.
Is there another one?
Yeah. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Technical issues. We're doing it live.
Fuck it.
True. We do have a MAGA screening right now, so we got at least one of those before the end of the show. Okay.